Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 31st of May, 1977. And the title is The Easy Method to Bring About World Benefit and to Have Stability in Elevated Thoughts. Do you now know your incorporeal and corporeal stages very well? Do you find it easy to be stable in both these stages? Or is it that you can easily stabilize yourself in the corporeal stage, but that stabilizing yourself in the incorporeal stage takes some effort? You have a thought and you become stable within a second's thought. You can stabilize yourself either here or there. Thoughts are the spiritual lift to take you up or down. Through thought, you can reach the most elevated, highest destination. That is, you can stabilize yourself in the incorporeal stage, angelic stage, or corporeal stage. Do you have the practice of this experience? Are you able to use the power of thought whenever you wish? The soul is the master of these subtle powers. To use these powers, however, and whenever you want, is to be a master almighty authority. Do you experience such mastery? Do you experience yourself being the creator who creates thoughts? Are you influenced by the creation? Do you have such a practice that you can become stable in a particular stage in a second, the moment you are given directions to do so? Or would you spend your time battling? If you pass your time in battling and are not able to stabilize yourself, would you be called a master almighty authority or a warrior? A warrior means to be part of the Moon dynasty. At present, the easy method to bring about world benefit is by bringing stability to the wandering intellects of all souls through the stability of your own elevated thoughts. All souls of the world, especially, want stability for their wandering intellect and mischievous mind. How would you fulfill this desire of the world? If you are not stable yourself, how would you be able to stabilize others? Therefore, stability means to belong constantly to the one Father and none other. Now, especially practice this constant, stable stage. You have already been told that to achieve this, firstly, transform waste thoughts into pure thoughts. Secondly, with deep love for God, easily put a stop to all the varieties of Maya's obstacles that still come to you and continue to move forward. What is the main reason for being afraid of obstacles? When an obstacle comes, you forget that Bab Dada has already given you knowledge of this in advance and told you that all these things will come to test your love for God. Since you know in advance that obstacles will come, why should you be afraid? Why do you think that it is something new? Why does Maya come to you? Why do you have waste thoughts? Why does your intellect wander? Why does the atmosphere influence you? Why don't your relations cooperate with you? Why do old scars emerge even now? Instead of finishing all obstacles, these questions become instrumental to distance you from the love of the Father. You forget Baba's elevated versions. The more you progress, the more the many forms of Maya will come to test you. However, these tests are the means to move you forward, not to make you fall. Instead of looking for the cause and resolving it, you simply waste your time in thinking about it. You lose your power. Instead of thinking about the cause, think about the solution and you will become free from obstacles. Do not wonder why something came, but through having the awareness that such a thing will happen, you will become an embodiment of power. Secondly, when you question why, Q, over even a small obstacle, a queue of waste thoughts is formed. You then have to spend a lot of time in finishing that queue. You are not able to overcome obstacles due to the main weakness of not being an embodiment of knowledge. That is, by not being stable in the stage of being knowledgeful. You are Jnani, knowledgeable, but you are not an embodiment of knowledge. Why does the atmosphere influence you? You forget the awareness of being the one who transforms the atmosphere with your powerful attitude. You call yourselves world transformers. For world transformation, you also have to transform the atmosphere. You are instruments to make the impure pure. So why do you think that you become weak because of the atmosphere? This is the iron-aged, tamopradhan, impure world. And so, what else would the atmosphere be, if not impure? While living in the tamoguni world, the duty of you Brahmins is to transform the atmosphere by being aware of your duty, that is, by being stable in the stage of a creator. You will not be influenced by the atmosphere, the creation. Instead of considering yourself a transformer and thinking how you could transform the atmosphere, you think that you become weak because of the atmosphere. Only if the atmosphere changes will I change myself. My stage will be good if the atmosphere is good. Who is the one who has to change the atmosphere? You forget this. This is why the atmosphere influences you. What else do you say? My relations do not listen to me. I'm not able to become powerful because I don't have good company. Bap Dada has already told you that every soul has their own individual, separate part. Some are Satoguni, some are Rajoguni, and others Tamoguni. There is a variety of souls within this varied drama. Therefore, not all souls can have the same part. If a particular soul has a tamoguni part without knowledge, then donate peace and power to that soul through your good wishes and pure feelings. Instead of this, when you see the part of an ignorant soul, why do you forget to experience your elevated stage? Why do you allow your stage to fluctuate? See the part of other souls as a detached observer and donate power to them. Do not be afraid. Be stable in your Sato Pradhan part. The reason why you are colored by the company of a Tamoguni soul is that you do not constantly keep the company of the Father. One who constantly stays in this elevated company cannot be colored by any other company. So now think about the solution. What else do you say? Open the lock on the intellect of my relations. Baba has already given all the children the key with which to open the lock on the intellect of all souls. So why do you not use the key? You forget your own task. You remind Baba time and again and say, Baba, you have to open the lock on this one's intellect and change their intellect. Baba is the world benefactor for all souls, the children anyway. So why do you remind him time and again? Do you think that Baba forgets his self-respect? There is no need to tell Baba anything. You are concerned about the relatives of your limited role. However, Baba constantly keeps the relationship of your being his children, and so the Father cannot forget his children. Baba knows that every soul has their own part at their own time. Some play their part from the beginning, some from the middle, and some at the end. Some have a part of bhakti, and some have a part of knowledge. Therefore, do not think time and again about when the lock will open, but open the lock with the method of serving with your thoughts. Serve by transforming the atmosphere with your attitude. Continue to serve by fulfilling the responsibility of transforming other souls on the basis of transforming your own life. Do not say time and again, open the lock. Your lock has opened, and so theirs will also open. You constantly write of three main things. Why am I not able to have yoga? Why does the lock not open? Why does Maya come to me? You think a great deal, and so Maya also enjoys herself. If one of the opponents in a wrestling match shows even the slightest sign of weakening, the other one is pleased to overpower him and bring him down. When you think Maya has come, why has Maya come? Seeing you frightened, she attacks you. Therefore, you were told that Maya will come to you anyway. By coming to you, Maya becomes an instrument to make you victorious. Maya is just a reason for you to experience the attainment of the powers. If you had no enemy, how could you be called victorious? These small forms of Maya are the instruments to make you into a victorious jewel. Therefore, consider yourself to be a conqueror of Maya, a victorious jewel, and attain victory over her. Do you understand? Master almighty authorities, do not become weak. Become those who challenge Maya. Acha? To those who are constantly the conquerors of Maya, and so the conquerors of the world. To those who make the atmosphere satopradhan with their powerful attitude. To those who remain beyond the influence of Maya's company by constantly staying in the Father's company and following his elevated directions. To those who are constantly embodiments of knowledge and who stabilize themselves in the form of power. To such constantly victorious jewels, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. What is the greatest treasure of the confluence age? The greatest treasure is the supersensuous joy which cannot be experienced in any other age. You would not speak about supersensuous joy in the golden age. This supersensuous joy is the treasure of this time. Have you experienced this treasure? You would never forget something that is the best of all, or that you like very much. Supersensuous joy is the greatest and best treasure of all, and so you should remember it constantly. To remember it is to experience it. This constant experience will replace the experience of pleasure through the physical senses. Those who do not constantly experience supersensuous joy are attracted towards the pleasure of the senses. You have already experienced pleasure through the senses. That temporary happiness is filled with sorrow. Nowadays, they put a sweet name to a bitter medicine. Even though the pleasure of the senses appear to be pleasure, what is it really? Now that you understand it as sorrow, why are you still attracted to it? Do you constantly play your part while considering yourself to be a special actor? Every act of a special actor is special. Do you pay that much attention to every action? No action should be ordinary. Any action performed by an ordinary soul would be based on body consciousness. A special soul would perform every action based on soul consciousness. What would be the result of someone playing their part while being soul conscious? That soul would be content and others would be content with them. Those who play a good part are applauded. Encore, encore. To make everyone content is to perform once more. It is not a big thing to be content with yourself. However, the complete slogan is remain content and make others content. This is only possible when you play your special part in soul consciousness. You will enjoy playing such a part and experience happiness. Do you constantly maintain your elevated self-respect of being a master almighty authority? What is the best self-respect? That of a master almighty authority. When an important officer or a king takes up their position of self-respect, others give them respect. If they are not in position, no one would accept their orders. If you are not seated on your seat of self-respect, Maya would not surrender to you. She knows that you are not set on your seat. To be seated on your seat is to consider yourself to be a master almighty authority. The confluence age is the age of instant visible fruit. You experience the fruit of the confluence age in the golden age as well. At the confluence age, you receive the instant fruit of 100-fold return from one. On the basis of one thought, I belong to the Father. You receive instant fruit for many births. Once you have the thought, I am a master almighty authority, you experience the intoxication of becoming a conqueror of Maya and attaining victory. Only at the confluence age Do you experience instant fruit? You receive fruit according to the type of seed you sow. To have a thought or to make effort is to sow a seed and receive multi-million-fold fruit of that in the confluence age. This is why the confluence age is praised later on. The greatest fruit of the confluence age is to actually meet the Father. God comes to meet you in the corporeal human form. All other fruit is contained in this fruit. Blessing. May you claim a right to God's love and everyone else's love by performing every task in a detached stage. Baba is loving to all and detached from all. His detachment makes him loved by all. The more you are detached from the consciousness of your own body, the more loving you are. Every now and again, practice entering your body to perform a task and then becoming detached. By remaining stable in such a detached stage, your actions will be good and you will be loved by the Father and everyone else. How great is the benefit of claiming a right to God's love. Slogan: keep your stock of good wishes full and apply a full stop to all waste. Om Shanti.